Hi everyone, I'm Sharna Jackson and I'm going to read a little bit from my book, The Good Turn. Now, The Good Turn is about our girl here, Josephine Williams, who one night is Googling her own name, and she comes across somebody called Josephine Holloway, who was a real person who lived in America in the Deep South in the 1940s and 50s, where she started her own scout troop for little black girls, which was a really difficult thing to do in those really racist times. So our Josephine is really inspired and she decides to create the Copseys, and that's her own scout troop based on the road where they live. They live on Copsey Close, and she ropes in her best friends and neighbours, Margot and Wesley. And it starts out like a regular scouting experience. You know, they're going around earning their badges, but things get a little bit spooky and not what they seem when they go and camp outside of an abandoned factory. But I'm going to read you a little bit now. "Should we knock or just do it?" asked Margot. She held a bin bag in her hand and looked up at Beechwood. The lights were off and it was dark inside. "I don't want him to come outside either way, but isn't this like trespassing?" "Probably," said Wesley, "but it's trespassing for good, isn't it?" He covered his hand with the sleeve of his jacket before picking up a crisp packet and putting it in his sack. "I'm just doing it, going for it." I bent down and put a wet newspaper in my bag. "You're right. If we knock, he might stop us, and then no badge for us." "Or no good feelings because we did something nice," said Wesley. He hopped over a hedge onto the lawn. "This is a right state," he sighed. "Poor Kirky." "I don't know about poor," said Margot. "I mean, look at his house. It's huge. It's not a poor person's place." "Money isn't everything, though, is it?" Wesley snapped. "Never said it was," she replied. She picked up a can. "Family and friends are just as important. More important, if you ask me." "I didn't ask you, and I don't believe you believe that." "I do," said Margot quietly. "I really do." Wesley looked at her for a moment, quizzically and slightly sympathetically, then continued cleaning. He coughed. "Done over here. How are you two getting on?" "I think we're finished," I said, closing my bag. I stepped backwards to survey the scene. Mr. Kirkley's garden was clean, or at least it looked like it in the fading light. "This is great, Copseys. We're done." And that's a little bit from The Good Turn for you.